Hi, welcome. This is Yoga with Francesca. My name is Francesca. For the today practice, we're going to use a block. So sit down in hero's pose, Virasana, onto your mat. Place the block right underneath the sit bones. Toes pointing back, you're sitting on the shin bones. Hug the inner ankles around the block. Start to feel the sit bones ground down into the block. Close your eyes. Connect to your breath. With every inhale, grow a little bit longer through the spine. Just gently pull the belly towards the spine so you can start to grow longer through the lower spine as well. And with every exhale, start to feel the connection with the sit bone and the block as you allow your shoulders to drop down away from the ears, sliding the shoulder blades down onto your back. The back of the neck is getting longer as part of your spine. And slowly you're going to get longer through the inhales and feel calmer through the exhales. Creating equal inhales and exhales and make them just a little bit deeper every single time. Breathe in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And as you exhale, slowly release all the air out from your lungs, starting from the bottom, go to the middle and the top lungs. Keeping the eyes closed, just connecting to the breath. Now gently open your eyes. Interlace the 10 fingers, turn the palms forward. Stretch the fingers, stretch the palms. Try to straighten the arms as much as possible, straight elbows. And then start to reach the arms up and overhead, straight arms. Drop the inner shoulders away from the ears. And reach with the outer armpits all the way to the sky. Keep the spine long, belly in. And with the next exhalation, turn over to the right side. Reach the fingers, reach the arms, shoulders, releasing away from the ears, long spine. Turn a little bit deeper and then slowly come back to center. Now turn over to the left side. Spine is still long. Sit bones grounding down to the mat. Lower back is nice and long as you reach with the fingers, the palms all the way to the sky. And gently turn back to center. Release. Bring the arms back down. Now interlace the hands one more time with the opposite index finger on top. With the straight arms, reach the arms up and overhead. Palms reaching the inner side of the palm, reaching up towards the ceiling. This time with the next exhale, turn over to the left side first. Inner shoulders releasing away from the ears. Spine nice and long, belly in. Breath is fluid. Come back to center, turn over to the right side. Try to keep those elbows nice and straight. Turn a little bit deeper with releasing the belly. And then slowly turn back to center, release the arms. Remove the block, place it to the top of your mat. And come into a tabletop position. Stack your joints, wrist under the shoulders, knees under the hips, belly pulling in, spine nice and long. With the next inhale, drop the belly, reach the tailbone up, lift the gaze up to the ceiling, cow pose. And as you exhale, come into cat pose, tug the chin towards the chest. Inhale, cow pose, lift the gaze, drop the belly. Exhale, cat pose, round your upper back, press the shin bones towards the mat. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Reach the right fingertips out to the side, fingers align with the shoulders. Pull the belly in and slowly inhale the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle, reach the right palm underneath the body, right palm facing to the ceiling as you drop the right shoulder down with the right ear to the mat. Slowly reach the left fingertips all the way forward so you feel a nice stretch in the left armpit area. Maybe you can lift the left fingertips up to the sky and find a half bind reaching behind your back. Maybe reaching all the way to the right outer hip, or maybe you can reach all the way to the right inner thigh. With that motion, with that bind, you are able to open up the chest a little bit more. Lift the left shoulder up towards the ceiling. And keep the hips nice and stable. Pin the outer hips in. As you reach the right palm back to the ceiling, take a deep breath in. And exhale, release the left palm down to the mat. Inhale the right fingertips up to the sky one more time. Come back to tabletop position. Inhale the left fingertips out to the side. Fingers align with the shoulders. Keep the chest open. Keep the hips stable as you start to reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, thread the needle. Reach the left palm underneath the body. Palm is facing to the ceiling. Left shoulder, left ear down to the mat. Outer hips are pinning in, keeping them nice and stable. Now reach the right fingertips forward. Stretch through the right armpit. And if you did the same thing on the other side, slowly start to reach the right arm up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring it behind your back. Find your left outer hip, or maybe reach all the way to the inside of the left leg, to the left inner thigh. Turn the right shoulder open. Keep the hips stable, keep the hips aligned, leveled. Keep focusing onto the breath, keeping the breath nice and fluid. Now reach the right fingertips back to the sky, place them down to the mat, come back into the table, into a tabletop position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Separate your fingers, palms shoulder distance apart, press your hips high, rotate the triceps towards the earth, create more space for your neck. Pull the belly in. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale your right leg high to the sky, nice and slow. Keep pinning on the outer hips, keep the hips leveled. As you inhale, hinge forward into a high plank, but keep the right leg lifted. As you exhale, pull the right knee to the right armpit. Hold it there. Bring it over to the left armpit. Keep the body nice and strong, nice and long. Bring it back to the right armpit. As you exhale, bring it over to the left armpit. Bring it over to the right armpit. Bring it over to the left armpit. Keep breathing. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, release it down, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high to the sky, nice and slow, hips nice and stable. Reaching up. And as you inhale, hinge forward into a high plank position. Keep reaching the left toes back, keeping both legs nice and strong. As you exhale, pull the left knee to the left armpit. With the next exhale, bring it over to the right armpit. Try to lift it as high as possible. Try to touch the armpit area. Inhale and exhale, bring it over to the left. Bring it over to the right. Bring it over to the left. Bring it over to the right, nice and slow. Keep using the muscles, keep the chest open. Bring it over to the left. Reach the left toes back. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, release the left leg down to the earth. Inhale, hinge forward into a high plank position. Lift the right toes away from the mat and now bring the right knee to the right armpit. Lower it down to the wrist and exhale, pull it back to the armpit. Lower it down to the wrist, pull it back to the armpit. Lower it down to the wrist, pull it back to the armpit. Bring it over to the left armpit, lower it down to the left wrist. Pull it back to the armpit, release it to the wrist. Pull it up to the armpit, down to the wrist. Up to the armpit, down to the wrist. Reach the right toes back, high plank position. Press back, downward facing dog. Warming up our core. Hinge forward into high plank, lift the left toes away from the mat. Now bring the left knee to the left armpit. Lower the knee down to the wrist. Exhale, pull it back to the armpit. Lower it down to the wrist. Pull it to the armpit. Lower it down. Pull it to the armpit. Lower it down. Now bring it over to the right armpit. Lower it down to the wrist. Exhale, pull it up to the armpit. Wrist. Exhale, armpit. Lower to the wrist. Exhale, armpit. Bring it back. Send the left leg back. High plank. Release the left toes down. High plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press your hips high. And walk your feet a little bit closer and separate them as wide as your mat. Ground down through the left palm and reach the right fingertips back all the way to the outer left ankle or maybe the left shin bone. Keep the spine nice and long and slowly start to twist over to the left side. Maybe bring the gaze all the way underneath the left armpit and gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and exhale, release. Now ground down through the right palm and reach the left fingertips back to the outside of the right ankle or shin bone. Breathe more length into the spine. Keep the spine nice and long, and maybe slowly you can start pulling your chest a little bit closer to your legs and twist your upper body. Gaze underneath the right armpit. Breathe in. Release it down as you exhale. Find your downward facing dog. Walk your feet back, hip distance apart. Step the right foot forward for low lunge. Come on onto your fingertips. Send the left heel back. Lift the left kneecap away from the mat. Pull the right thigh bone back into its socket. Ground down through the right inner heel. Now place the block to the inside of the right foot. Place the left palm on top of the block. Place the right palm onto your sacrum, onto your lower back. Keep the hips stable. Keep the sacrum nice and long. Press into the left palm into the block and slowly start to twist your upper body. Keep the chest nice and open. Reach with the right fingertips to the sky. Keep the back leg lifted, back kneecap lifted away from the mat. Legs are strong, outer hips are squeezing in. And then as you exhale, release it down, remove the block. Release the left knee down onto the mat, untuck your toes. Inhale, rise up, crescent moon. Plug the outer right hip back into its socket as you lift up. Press the left shin bone down to the mat. Grow longer through the spine and grow longer through the right and left side body. Bring the hands to your heart center, hinge forward, and exhale as you twist. Left elbow hooks to the outside of the right knee. The right thigh bone still actively plugging back into its socket with the help of the outer right hip muscles. Press the palms together, bring the thumb towards the heart center, release the tension from your neck, and slowly start to twist. Start to release the tension from around the belly button, and as you grow longer through the inhales, twist a little bit deeper with the exhales. Now release the palms back to the earth and step back to your downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward in between the palms, come up onto your fingertips, find your low lunge first. The right leg is strong, the right kneecap's lifted away from the mat, the heel is reaching back. The left thigh bone is plugging back into its socket, and the left heel is grounding down into the mat. The entire spine is long, the belly is engaged, but the breath is fluid. Now bring the block to the inside of the left foot, place the right palm onto the block. Place the left palm onto your sacrum, your lower back. Squeeze your hips. Keep the hips stable as you slowly start to twist your upper body. So the twist is coming from the waistline, from the belly button area. First, you always find the length, and then when you find your maximum length through the spine, you can start to twist your upper body, but keep the length. Reach the top arm, the left fingertips up to the sky. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Relax. Focus onto your breath as you grow longer, and as you exhale, release it back to the earth. Remove the block to the side. Drop the right knee onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Come up into crescent moon. Keep that left knee track facing forward, pointing towards the second toenail. Bring the hands to your heart center. Hinge forward and twist. Hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Keep the left thigh bone plugged back. Keep the right shin bone anchoring down towards the mat. Focus onto the length first. Come back to that nice slow breathing. Consciously focusing on every inhale and every exhale. And as you exhale, you allow yourself to maybe gently move a little bit deeper into the twist without forcing. It's an allowing motion. Slowly come back, release the fingertips down to the mat and step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Gaze forward, step both feet to the top of the mat, hip distance apart. Ragdoll Uttanasana, grab opposite elbows and allow the whole upper body to hang heavy. The head is heavy, the neck is free. Now grab your block, place the block in between your feet. Place the left palm on top of the block, right underneath your nose. Keep the legs straight but a micro bend in the knees as you place the right palm onto your sacrum, lower back again. Start to twist, keeping the hips stable again. So the twist again happening just from around the belly button in the upper body. So maybe your twist is not going to be as deep, but it's going to be a nice and healthy twist. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Relax the right shoulder away from the ear. Press into the block with the left palm. And slowly release. Switch sides. Right palm onto the block. Left palm onto your sacrum. First, find the length again. Reach the crown forward. The sit bones back. Lengthen out through the spine using the belly. And then slowly turn towards the left side. Reaching the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are relaxing away from the ears. Maybe gazing up if it feels okay with your neck. Keep the hips pinned in, keep them stable. Keep the microbend in the knee, feel the hips right over the ankles. And then release it back down. Toe heel your feet together, bring the hands onto your outer hips. With a strong straight spine, rise up all the way to standing mountain pose Tadasana. Bring the hands to your heart center, Samastiti. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms up and overhead, palms facing towards each other. Now pin the outer hips, keep them stable. And as you exhale, find a vertical twist. Reach the right fingertips back and the left fingertips forward. Separate your fingers wide. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Work the right hip a little bit more forward, the left hip a little bit more back as you keep them plugged in. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, vertical twist towards the other side. So if the hips are still facing forward, the hips are not moving at all. The legs are strong. You're grounding down through the heels. Reach with the left fingertips back, the right fingertips forward. Feel the twist coming from your waistline. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hand through heart center. Inhale, flat spine, Ardha. Exhale, step back, high plank position. Strong legs, strong core. Chest is nice and open as you slowly start to lower down to your chaturanga. Hug the elbows to your side. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulders relaxing away from the ears. Chest pressing through the arm bones. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Turn the triceps down. Create more space for the neck. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees. Drop the hips down towards the mat. Body weight shifts back towards the heels slightly, so the toes are a little bit lighter here. Shift the shin bones back, and then drop the hips even deeper. Get out that deep curve from your lower back with using the belly. Now reach the fingers forward, arms forward. And as you exhale, find your vertical twist. Can you keep the hips stable in this position? The same motion as we've been working on. Squeeze the outer hips and allow this twist to come from your center, from your waistline. Reach the right fingertip back, left fingertips forward. Inhale, rise back into chair pose. Lift the arms, drop the hips. Stay nice and deep into your chair pose. Squeeze the glutes. And then as you exhale, find the vertical twist in your chair pose towards the other side. Left fingertips back, right fingertips forward. Separating the fingers creates energy in the arms. So drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel how with the energy of the fingers, you open up the chest. You're keeping the sternum nice and open. Pin the outer hips, keeping the hips low. Inhale, rise back into chair pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into a high plank position. Slowly lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg high, nice and slow. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right armpit. In a high plank position, hold it nice and high. Try to touch all the way to the outer armpit. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, come into a high plank position and bring the right knee towards the left armpit. Try to lift the knee a little bit higher and extend the right leg out to the side without letting the right foot to touch the ground. Pull it back to center. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through low lunge. Left palm down onto the mat, or maybe down on the fingertips, or you can use the block if you need. Low lunge twist, reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Same thing here, pinning the outer hips, keeping the hips stable. Reach up, feel how from the left heel all the way to the crown of the head, you're one strong energy line. Now release the fingers back to the earth, and inhale, rise up into Crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bend your back knee a lot. Bring the left knee just an inch away from the mat. Ground down through the right heel. Reach with the fingertips all the way to the sky. Turn the triceps forward. Now again, squeeze onto your outer hips. Reach the right fingertips back, left fingertips forward. Vertical twist and slowly start to straighten the back leg. Lift the left kneecap away from the mat. Keep squeezing the outer hips. Lengthening out from your lower spine. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Right knee is pointing towards the second toenail. The back foot is grounding down. Left foot, the outer arch of the left foot is firmly pressing into the mat. The fingers are reaching to the opposite direction. With the next exhalation, find extended side angle. Release the right fingers to the outside of the right foot. And then lift the left fingers up to the sky. And slowly start to reach with the top arm all the way forward, palm facing down. So from the back foot, from the left foot, the outer arch of the left foot, all the way to the top finger is one strong energy line, finding oppositions, reaching towards the opposite directions, getting longer in the body. And the right knee is still pointing towards the second toenail. With a strong belly, rise back into a warrior 2 position. Keep the bend in the front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Find a nice side stretch here. Breathe more length into the right side body as you pull the right shoulder back into its socket. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, windmill the arms back to the earth. High to low plank, squeezing the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips all the way up to the sky. Left leg lifts up to the sky with the next inhale. Nice and slow. Exhale, bring it over to the left armpit. Pull it all the way towards the left armpit. Try to pull it a little bit higher. Keep the chest open. Keep the back leg strong. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring it over to the right armpit. Hold it there. Pull it just a little bit higher. Now keep the leg, straighten the left leg. Send it all the way out to the side without touching the ground. Pull it back to center. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through low lunge. Come on to your fingertips, all 10 toes facing forward, low lunge position. Place the right palm down onto the mat to the inside of the left foot, or maybe come onto your fingertips or block. Exhale, open up to the side, low lunge twist. Keep the left outer hip plugged in. Keep the back leg nice and strong. Shoulders away from the ears. Reach with the left fingertips all the way to the ceiling, to the sky. Press the earth away with the right palm, right fingers. And exhale, release it down. Inhale, rise up into Crescent lunge under Vinyasa. All 10 toes pointing forward. Now bend your back knee a lot. Hover the back knee a couple inches away from the mat as you reach the fingers up towards the ceiling. Hold it here. Get out from your lower back, lift up through the side body, reach with the fingers, but keep the distance in between ear and shoulders. Now reach the fingertips forward, coming into our vertical twist. Reach the left fingertips back, the right fingertips forward, bringing that energy into the palms, opening up through the chest, straighten the back leg, reach the right heel all the way to the back, lift the right kneecap away from the mat, keep opening up through the chest. And then from here, open up, warrior 2. Adjust your feet if you need to. Back arch, the right arch is pressing down to the mat. The back foot is still in an angle, in like a 20-degree angle pointing towards the right front of your mat. Reach with the fingers, palms down, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. But the triceps and the biceps are engaged. They're squeezing towards each other to keep the arms nice and long. With the next exhale, extend its side angle. Release the left fingertips to the outside of the left foot. So if you're using a block, it's always a nice idea if you feel like you can't go this deep into the posture, no worries. You use a block, place the block underneath the left palm. Now reach the right arm all the way up and overhead, extend its side angle. Feeling again that nice long body, the nice long energy line from the right fingers all the way to the outside of the right foot. The left knee is still working towards the second toenail. The left outer hip is plugging back into its socket. And you stay nice and long through the spine, especially the lower back. With the next exhale, press back into a warrior 2. Keep the bend in the front knee. Straight back leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Little to no weight in the right palm on the right leg. Or you can find a half bind as I'm doing on the video. Reach the left fingertips up and overhead and breathe more length into the left side body. Pull that left shoulder back into its socket. And as you exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat. Step back, high to low plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Try to stay with your breath as our practice gets a little more challenging this time. So start to stay with your inhales and exhales. Lower down your breath, slowing down the heart rate. Look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in deep. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit deep into your chair, reach with the arms, triceps facing forward, gaze up, back of the neck is nice and long. Bring the hands to your heart center. Hinge forward with the upper body. Sit as deep as you can into your chair pose. Drop the hips all the way aligned with your knees. And then start to turn your upper body. Hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Make sure that both knees are in one line. You're not pushing the right knee back with the elbow. Now, can you keep the hips nice and stable, squeezing with the outer hips, and allow the upper body to twist without bothering, without disturbing the hips. The body weight is towards the heels, keeping you stable. Now, gaze down. Lift the right heel up. Lift the right foot away from the mat, and gracefully and strong as you can, step back into a twist. So the left foot steps back, and the left elbow is still hooked to the outside of the right knee. Revolved crescent lunge. Hug the outer hips. Now open up the arms, reach the arms, and then slowly using the belly, rise up into a vertical twist. Upright your upper body, reach the right fingertips back, left fingertips forward. Now start to reach forward with the left fingertips as far as you can. Reach, 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 reach. Now, a block is a really good thing to have here. We're stepping up into revolved half moon. So place the block at the top of your mat underneath the left shoulder. And then keep the hips stable. Lower back is nice and long. The sacrum is nice and long, and reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Bring a micro bend in the standing leg on the right leg, but try to keep the back leg, the left leg, as strong and straight as possible. Slowly with the muscles, start to lower the left neck down to the mat, coming into twisted triangle. Now you can use the block, placing it to the inside or the outside of the right foot, or you can get rid of the block and just come into the regular pose without the block. Plug the hips in, press into the right big toe, pull the right thigh bone back into its socket, and twist through the upper body. Slowly release, fold forward over your right leg. Let the head hang heavy, round up through the upper back. Try to bring the forehead all the way to your shins as you keep the back leg active, the hips facing forward. And step back into a downward facing dog. Come back to your slow breath. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sit nice and deep into your chair. Reach with the arms up and overhead. Drop the hips. Bring the hands to your heart center and hinge forward with the upper body. Try to drop the hips all the way down, align with the knees. And prayer twist as you exhale, the right elbow hooks to the outside of the left knee, keeping the knees in one line. Maybe check on the knees. Keep the inside and the outside arch of your feet equally grounding down into your mat as you start to squeeze your hips. Find the length first. Start to press the palms together, but still relaxing the shoulders away from the ears as you slowly start to twist your upper body. Gaze down. Find balance with your gaze. Shift the body weight to the left foot and slowly start to lift the right knee up towards your glute, and then reach it back, and gracefully as you can step back into a revolved crescent. A nice long twist. Reaching the right heel back, right kneecap lifting away from the mat. Plug the outer left hip back into its socket. Squeeze the outer hips as you slowly start to turn your chest, turn through the belly. Now inhale as you open your arms, reach the top arm, the left arm up, the right fingertips down. Open up even more through the chest, through the whole upper body. And as you engage your belly, keeping the legs nice and strong, press yourself up into a nice long vertical twist. Upright your chest. Reach the left fingertips back, right fingertips forward. Keep squeezing on the outer hips, keeping the entire body nice and long, nice and strong. Start to reach forward with the right fingertips as far as you can. Now hopefully the block is still somewhere at the top of the mat, so you can place the block underneath the right shoulder. Palm is onto the mat. Place the left palm first onto the sacrum, making sure that the lower back is nice and long. The standing leg, the left leg could be bent, And it's actually nice to bring a micro bend in the left leg, so you're working with the muscles, not with the joints. But the back leg, the right leg, should be nice and straight, so reach back with the right heel. Try to engage the entire right leg, lift that right kneecap, lengthen through the entire spine. Again, find the length before you're going to start to twist. Reach the top arm even higher, maybe gaze up if it doesn't bother your leg. Slowly and gracefully step back. The feet are about like 3.5 feet apart here. And then same as you did on the other side, place the block to the inside or the outside of the front foot, the left foot, or maybe without the block. Revolved triangle. Plug the left thigh bone back to its socket, squeezing the outer hips. Then lengthen out through the spine. Create that nice long spine from the sit bone all the way to the crown of the head, and gently open up through the spine. Exhale as you release. The forehead comes close to the shins. Ground down equally through the left foot. Keep the back leg active. Keep the hips facing forward. And slowly step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Separate your feet mat distance apart, toes out, heels in. Sit down, Malasana frog pose. You have the block, so if you're having issues releasing the tailbone down towards the mat, place the block underneath the sit bones. It's a great posture. Bring the elbows to the inside of the knees. Press the palms together at your heart center and grow nice and long through the spine from the sit bone to the crown. Now release the left fingertips all the way to the side and reach the right fingertips up to the ceiling. You can stay here reaching with the fingers. You can find a bind, reaching the right fingers back, and maybe with the left fingers you're able to capture the right wrist. Open up through the chest, twisting the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Ground down through the sit bones, grounding down through both feet equally, inside outside arch. Slowly come back to center. Switch sides, right fingertips out to the side, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Open up and twist through the chest. Same thing here, you can stay open here, reaching with the arms, keep finding length this way, or maybe you're gonna find that bind, reaching back with the left fingers, capturing the wrists, opening up, left shoulder is turning all the way to the ceiling, but you ground down through both heels equally. Slowly come back to center, bring the hands to your heart, and release. Sit down onto your mat, bend your knees, and lay down all the way to your mat. Coming into a little core session. So bring the right knee over the left in eagle position and the right arm under the left. Eagle on the back. Now reach the fingers and the toes to the opposite direction. Keep the lower back down onto the mat. As you exhale, lift it up, elbow to knee to touch. Inhale, reach the opposite directions. Exhale, pull it together. You don't have to make huge movements here. Try to keep the lower back grounding down into the mat to keep it nice and safe. But reach with the fingers and toes to the opposite direction with every exhale. Squeeze it together. Reach, exhale, squeeze. Hold it there. Bring the knees and elbows together. Lift it up. Try to bring the elbows all the way to the knees. Shoulder blades lifted away from the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the elbows, and then slowly release. Lay down onto the mat. Take a breath. Moving over to the other side, left leg around the right and the left arm underneath the right. Eagle position. Bring the elbows and knees to touch. Inhale as you reach to the opposite direction. Exhale, hug it in, elbow and knee to touch. Lift the shoulder blades away from the mat. Bring them all the way to touch. Nice and slow. Again, using the breath. When you lift, you exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Keep the lower back down onto the mat. Exhale, lift. Hold it there, elbows and knee all the way together. Lift your shoulder blades a little bit higher. Work the core. Lift even higher. Don't stop breathing. Hold and slowly release. Bring the knees onto your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze, a gentle hug. Bring the knees in a tabletop position. Flex the toes towards your face. Interlace the 10 fingers behind your back. Open up the elbows wide. Release the left heel close to the ground, but keep it hovering. Now reach the right toes up towards the ceiling. Try to straighten the right leg as much as possible as you reach the left fingertips to the outside of the right ankle. Right fingertips behind the ear. Lift a little bit higher, reach. Keep the leg strong. Work with your lower belly. Work with the obliques as you lift a little bit higher. Come back to center. Reach the right heel forward. Keep the right leg straight and a couple inches away from the mat. Left leg reaches to the ceiling and reach the right fingertips to the outside of the left ankle. Keep the left fingertips behind the ear. Lift the shoulder blades a little bit higher. Use your belly. Relax your jaw as you lift even higher. Use your breath. Keep the leg straight as much as possible. Nice and strong. Lift just a little bit higher. And slowly come back. Low boat. Reach the toes forward. Lift the shoulder blades away from the mat as you reach the fingertips forward. Toes and the eyes are in same level. Hold it there. And exhale as you release. Bring the knees onto your chest. Pencil stretch. Reach the fingertips behind you and the toes to the opposite direction. Stretch out through the entire body. Come up into a seated position. Lengthen out through your right leg. The right leg is nice and straight. The right toes flexing towards your face. Bring the left sole of the foot to the inside of your right leg, to the inner thigh. Let the left knee open up. And as you inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, reach with the fingertips all the way towards the right leg. Maybe you can capture the shin bone. Maybe you can go all the way to the toes, to the feet. If you can go even deeper, you can grab your block, place it onto the sole of the right foot, and fold all the way over your right leg. Keep releasing the left leg, left knee down towards the mat. Finding more length through the inhales. Finding more release through the exhales. Inhale, come back up to center. Place the left palm behind you. And inhale, open up, lift the hips away from the mat. Find a nice back bend, a nice arch as you lift the chest, lift the hips up and away from the mat. And exhale, sit back down onto your mat. Switch sides, left leg reaching to the left corner of your mat. Flex the left toes towards the face, the right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh. Release the right knee down towards the mat. Inhale, reach the arms, find a nice long spine, pull the belly in, lift. And exhale, fold forward with a flat spine. Squeeze your outer hips. Keep releasing the right knee down. And as you exhale, release all the way down. Round your upper back. Fold over your left leg. You can capture the shin, maybe the foot. Maybe you use the block. Go all the way down. Keep breathing. Slowly come on back up. Reach both legs forward, sitting in Dandasana. Reach the arms up and overhead. Feel the sit bones grounding down, spine nice and long, 10 toes flexing back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold forward. Hinge from your hips as you keep the squeezing sensation in your hips. Fold all the way to over your legs, round your back. You can still use the block here. If you really want to go deep into the posture, place it to the soles of the feet. That's going to help your feet also equally stretch back towards the face. Release. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Place the right foot to the outside of the left leg. You can keep the left leg straight, or you can bend the left leg and bring the left heel to the outside of the right hip. Hook the left elbow on top of the right knee. Place the right fingertips behind your back. Feel both sit bones grounding down into your mat. Grow long through the spine and slowly start to twist. Switch sides. This time the left ankle to the outside of the right knee. You can keep the right leg straight or bend it. Bring the heel all the way to the outer left hip. Hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Left fingertips behind your back. Find length first and slowly and gently start to twist. Again, the twist comes from around the waistline. Feel both sit bones grounding down into the mat. Grow nice and long. Keep the neck as part of your spine. Twist gently and release it back. Soles of the feet onto the mat. Keep the knees bent as you slowly lower back down onto your mat. Pull the knees onto your chest. Open up your feet, coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet facing up towards the ceiling, stacked over your knees. Maybe grab onto your big toes and maybe open up through the right leg, straighten the right leg out to the side, bend your right leg, straighten the left leg, or maybe you want to straighten both legs, get a nice stretch in your inner thighs. Bring it back to center. knees onto your chest. Pull the right knee into the right armpit, lengthen the left leg forward, flex the left toes towards your face. Pull the right knee all the way to your right armpit, feel the entire spine down onto the mat, and slowly start to assist the right leg over to the left side. Keep both shoulder blades heavy onto your mat as you gaze over to the right. Keep your eyes closed maybe for the rest of the practice. And in this pose, just gently allow, without forcing. No need to move deeper than your body is allowing you to move. Just listen to your body. Let the breath ride your movements. And switch sides. Pull the left knee towards the armpit. Straighten the right leg. Flex the right toes towards the face. When you're ready, assist the left leg over to the right. Shoulder blades down onto the mat. Nice and heavy. Gaze over to the left. If you feel any kind of a pain here, it's always nice to use a block underneath the knee as a support, or maybe just keep the legs together, knees together as you twist from one side to the other. Bring the knees back to center, give yourself a hug, and then when you're ready, find your final Savasana, final relaxation pose onto your mat. Separate your feet mat distance apart, and the toes to fall out to the side, arms by your side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Gently shimmy your shoulder blades closer together. Take one more deep breath in. Let the entire body drop in. Focus onto your breath. Let everything go. Stay in your Savasana as long as it feels good. It's an amazing place to heal your body, to heal your mind. If you like practicing with me, please come back, hit the like button, subscribe. Hopefully see you soon. Namaste.